Let's do few stand-alone and extract-based questions from the chapter The Last Lesson, taken from Flamingo English Code, Class 12. So today let us do few stand-alone and extract-based questions. Question 1. Why did France look for opportunities to skip school? A. To work on mills. B. To go fishing. C. To water the plants. D. To collect birds' eggs. So the answer is to collect birds' eggs. Question 2. M. Hamel, introduced as a ruler-wielding teacher, shows that he is A. Concerned, B. Adamant, C. Unfeeling, D. Hard taskmaster. So the answer is D. Hard taskmaster. Question 3. Which human tendency is highlighted through the story The Last Lesson? A. Male chauvinism, B. Procrastination, C. Courage, B. Cowardice. The answer is B. Procrastination. Question 4. Which of the following situations, according to Franz, could have been advantageous for him when he was late for his class? A. If M. Hamel would be teaching on the blackboard. B. If there would be commotion in the class. C. If Hauser would help him to sneak in without getting noticed. The answer is B. If there would be commotion in the class. Question 5. Franz thinks, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons? What could this mean? A. The Germans would use brutal force over the French. B. Harsh orders will be passed. C. When people are deprived of their essence, even the surroundings are affected. D. The Germans would rob France of its language. So the answer is C. When people are deprived of their essence, even the surroundings are affected. Question 6. M. Hamel's motionless posture reflected that A. The school was dismissed. B. There was a sense of finality in his actions. C. The order of life was going to change. D. He had a feeling of nostalgia. So the answer is B. There was a sense of finality in his actions. Question 7. Franz saw a huge crowd assembled in front of the bulletin board, but did not stop. How would you evaluate his reaction? A. Franz was too little to care about the news of lost battles. B. Nobody in Franz's family was in an army, so it did not matter. C. Bad news had become very normal, so he went about his task. D. It was too crowded for Franz to find out what news was up on the board. The answer is D. It was too crowded for Franz to find out what news was up on the board. Question 8. There was usually great bustle and noise when school began, but it was all very quiet. Which of the following describes Franz's emotions most accurately? A. Shock and awe. B. Disappointment and anxiety. C. Confusion and distress. D. Curiosity and uncertainty. So the answer is curiosity and uncertainty. Question 9. I never saw him look so tall. Which of the following best captures M. Hamel on the last day of school? A. Cranky, miserable, dedicated, resigned. B. Patient, dignified, emotional, courageous. C. Calm, nostalgic, disappointed, patriotic. D. Proud, reproachful, persistent, heroic. So the answer is calm, nostalgic, disappointed, patriotic. Now read this extract. Question 1. Why does the narrator refer to M. Hamel as poor man? A. He empathizes with M. Hamel as he had to leave the village. He believes that M. Hamel's fine Sunday clothes clearly reflected that he was not rich. C. He feels sorry for M. Hamel as it was his last French lesson. D. He thinks that M. Hamel's patriotism and sense of duty resulted in his poverty. So the answer is C. He feels sorry for M. Hamel as it was his last French lesson. Question 2. Which of the following idioms might describe the villager's act of attending the last lesson most accurately? A. Too good to miss. B. Too little, too late. C. Too many cooks spoil the broth. D. Too cool for school. The answer is B. Too little, too late. Question 3. Choose the option that might raise a question about M. Hamel's faithful service. A. When Franz came late, M. Hamel told him that he was about to begin class without him. B. Franz mentioned how cranky M. Hamel was and his great ruler rapping on the table. C. M. Hamel often sent students to water his flowers and give a holiday when he wanted to go fishing. D. M. Hamel permitted villagers put their children to work on a farm or at the mills for some extra money. So the answer is M. Hamel would often send students to water his flowers and gave a holiday when he wanted to go fishing. Now read the paragraph. The villagers and their children sat in class, forging with their old master a dash togetherness. In that moment, the classroom stood dash. It was France itself, and the last French lesson, a desperate hope to dash to the remnants of what they had known and taken for granted, their own dash. The choices given to you: A. Graceful, still, hang on, country. B. Bygone, up, keep on, education. C. Beautiful, mesmerized, carry on, unity. D. Forgotten, transformed, hold on, identity. Answer is D. With their old master, a forgotten togetherness. The classroom stood transformed. A desperate hope to hang on to the remnants of what they had known and taken for granted, their own identity. Read this para. Question 1. Which of the following can be attributed to M. Hamel's declaration about the French language? A. Subject expertise. B. Nostalgic pride. C. Factual accuracy. D. Patriotic magnification. So the answer is B. Nostalgic pride. Question 2. Few quotations are given. Choose the options that might best describe M. Hamel's viewpoint. So the answer is option 2. Language is the roadmap of a culture. It tells you where its people came from and where they are going. Next question. I was amazed to see how well I understood it. Select the option that does not explain why Franz found the grammar lesson easy. A. Franz was paying careful attention in class this time. B. M. Hamel was being extremely patient and calm in his teaching. C. Franz was inspired and had found a new meaning and purpose to learning. D. Franz had realized that French was the clearest and most logical language. So to select the option that does not explain. The answer is D. Franz had realized that French was the clearest and most logical language. Next question. Franz was able to understand the grammar lesson easily because he was A. Receptive, B. Appreciative, C. Introspective, D. Competitive. So the answer is A. Receptive. Read this extract. Question 1. Who is the speaker of these lines? A. Franz, B. the mayor, C. the blacksmith, D. the postmaster. So of course the answer is A. Franz. Question 2. Who was M. Hamel? A. Principal, B. French teacher, C. Village sarpanch, D. Franz's father. So the answer is B. French teacher. Next question. Why was Franz in great dread? A. He had not prepared for his grammar lesson. He had bunked the class the previous day. C. He had not brought his notebook. D. None of these. So the answer is A. He had not prepared for his grammar lesson. Question 4. What did Franz think for a moment? A. Teaching a lesson to his teacher. B. Pranking the principal. C. Bunking the class. D. Joining the civil movement. So the answer is C. Bunking the class. Read the extract. Question 1. From which lesson has the extract been taken? A. Deep water, B. Indigo, C. Lost spring, D. The last lesson. So of course the answer is the last lesson. Next question. Who is the teacher referred to here? A. Mr. Hamel, B. Mr. Chris, C. Mr. Franz, D. None of these. So the answer is A. Mr. Hamel. Question 3. What usual things happened every day at school? A. Great bustle and noise. B. Proper discipline. C. Attendance. D. Morning assembly. So the answer is A. Great bustle and noise. Question 4. The word rapping means A. Singing, B. Slapping on the head, C. Striking to attract attention, D. Teaching strictly. So the answer is C, striking to attract attention. Read the extract. Question 1. Who is the speaker of these lines? A. Mr. Hamel. B. Franz. C. Village head. D. School principal. The answer is A. Mr. Hamel. Next question. Who is he addressing to? A. Franz and his classmates. B. Village seniors. C. Chief guest. D. Everyone in the class. So the answer is D. Everyone in the class. Next question. Which districts had come under Prussian rule? A. Alsace. B. Lorraine. C. Both A and B. D. None of these. So the answer is both A and B. Next question. How was I different in his last lesson? A. Grave. B. Rude. C. Impolite. D. Disciplined. So the answer is A. Grave. Okay, now read this extract. Question 1. Who is he in the above lines? A. Franz. B. Village head. C. Mr. Hamel. D. None of these. So the answer is C. Mr. Hamel. Next question. Who is I here? A. Franz. B. Village head. C. Mr. Hamel. D. School principal. The answer is A. Franz. Question 3. Why would I never see him again? A. He was leaving the school. He was shifted to another class. He was promoted to next school. D. All of these. So the answer is A. He was leaving the school. Next question. What do these lines tell about he? A. He was cooperative. B. He was nonchalant. C. He was strict. D. He was easy-go-lucky. So the answer is C. He was strict. Read the extract. Question 1. Who is I here? A. Mr. Hamel. B. Franz. C. Village Sarpanch. D. Not clear from the story. The answer is B. Franz. Next question. What was asked in the class from I? A. Rule of grammar. B. Addition rule. C. Multiplication table of 18. D. Essay on the language. So the answer is A. Rule of grammar. Next question. Why did he stand holding the desk? A. He was surprised at the question. B. He had not prepared his lesson. C. He was absent the previous day. D. He did not listen the question clearly. So the answer is B. He had not prepared his lesson. And the last question. What was the reaction of the teacher? A. Scolded him. B. Shouted at him. C. Sent him out of the class. D. Pitied him. So the answer is D. Pitied him. Thank you.